Alutemu's primary deck first. Take us through it, language. Similar in a previous match, but Spirit of the Shark and Heist Baron toggle steps. So there is and also extremely powerful Iras, but I also have the aggressive opening. So overall, those are the three variations of each list for the two players. It's stealth, and then you can start just pushing.
Imagine they'll actually go that way, but maybe as the weeks progress, we might see something like that where the lists are very similar and it might be sort of a mind games thing.
Okay, well, looking forward to seeing if that pans out the way it is, but here we go. Alutemu versus Tom60229, Rogue Mirror. Alutemu getting off with this deckhand on 1, and you know, what does this achieve? Because I feel like as a viewer, you know, someone who follows the scene, and you know, interesting how you play decks. There's a lot of discussion always over when, how, and why you deckhand on 1. But what's this achieving for Alutemu here?
So deckhand on 1 in the mirror going first means that your opponent can't deal with it on turn 1 unless they have like a backstab. It's very rare they're going to coin out a dagger. They'd rather just coin out a miscreant on turn 3 or like coin out a raiding party if they choose to do that. Which means the deckhand translates into 4 damage minimum. And if your opponent does have coin miscreant, it could be even more because the deckhand sticks around. Alutemu already had preparation raiding party miscreant, so it looks like a pretty powerful turn 3, so he doesn't think that he needs the deckhand to activate anything, which means just go, try to push for damage, and then get that early chip in.
Okay, well, we did see the backstab, and just in the meantime, while you're giving that excellent breakdown of deckhand on 1, Tom actually just already, you know, went for the miscreant, and then instantly shadow stepped and say, well, my turn 3 looks pretty sweet too. Whereas Alutemu's turn doesn't look so shabby either. Answering with his own miscreant, but a prep raiding party as the backup. Wow.
Yeah, pretty powerful.
This game's spicy. Damn.
A lot of evil recruits going to be going on in this game. Lackeys of all kind.
Yeah, and funnily enough, it's not always clear which pulls are the best, because Discover a Spell is generally feels the best in every situation, say. But now, like, is Tom being able to go wide with the Faceless Lackey that summons a 2-drop? Is that actually going to end up being more valuable? Because Alutemu and Rogue in general right now doesn't really have a good way to deal with a wide board.
Oh, wow.
And it's if you knew there was a knife juggler in there, then yes, the Faceless Lackey is pretty good. And he can do it again. 2 more juggles. Why not?
Yeah. I mean, none of these players are running fan of knives. Going wide is a very real way of getting ahead on board, and Tom recognizes that.
If only he had a shadow step for the bunny.
Of course. Or a scheme.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so Alutemu now has to very quickly decide how he wants this game to go, because when you lose board this wide, yes, it's only 1-1s, but still it's a problem. I feel like you have to make a decision as to whether you go, right, I'm going to play hyper-aggressive and try and kill him, or I'm going to try and, or I think I can actually battle back for board. We are very much in the early game right now, but how easy do you think it is for Alutemu to actually, you know, fight for this board still?
Well, with the minions that Tom got off of the Faceless Summoners, the Juggler does, you know, launch some knives, but it's not that much of a threat in itself. I mean, Tom knows that Alutemu had a Waggle Pick in hand because he went prep raiding party the turn before. So, I mean, without a Dread Corsair, it's difficult to get more stuff on board, which is why I think Alutemu is going to stray away from the Waggle Pick and try something else. But, I mean, with the lackeys available, it is pretty easy to swing back the board based on the minions that Tom got off of the Faceless Summoners.
Yeah, deal 2 from hand with another deal 2 from hand with the 1-1 in the SI7 agent, and that means that, as you said, like, suddenly this board has been fought back for and won.
Yeah.
Oh, but now next question. Tom has Waggle Pick and a green skin available in hand. But is he ever going to play around weapon removal in any way?
Waggle Picks without Dread Corsairs can be a little scary, because by itself it's not the craziest amount of tempo. And we can see that from Tom's side. It's similarly to how Alutemu decided not to Waggle Pick. Oh my goodness.
Twice in a day.
Yeah. Tom decided not to go. He forewent the Waggle Pick option to try and clean up the board, and again try to swing it in his favor.
Right. So Hero Power and the deckhand will kill off the Miscreant, which seems like a lot of committing a reasonable amount of resources, but if it's shadow stepped and create more lackeys, then it could just be more of a problem going forward. But It looks like Tom actually might just push some more damage and say, you can have your 1-3 if you Shadow Step it, fine. But if you don't, it's still just a 1-3. So Tom taking a more aggressive line here. And now Alutemu has to decide what he wants to do, because there's a 5-2 staring at him in the face.
I think this is a good start to the turn. Discover something. Maybe a backstab. Contract's a bit heavy. You do have preparation, but I don't know if that's the way you want to be dealing with the Portal Keeper. If that's what it's called.
This might seem a little bit of overkill, but it gets the job done and doesn't do 5 to your face in the meantime, so...
He may choose to even go deckhand, save the Vis for damage later.
He could.
Means the rest of your turn is kind of awkward with mana spend, because if you go deckhand, there's not a whole lot you want to Vis this turn. And you don't necessarily want to just Bloodseal Corsair, you know, just regular.
Because, yeah. If there was a deadly poison on it or something, maybe, but...
Probably just going to redagger and leave it at that for now.
Yeah, why not? Don't need to go too crazy, I don't think. Keep hold of the Eviscerate anyway. It's good for some removal later, and there's a Bloodseal Corsair of Tom's, so it does have a little bit of a weapon removal as well, mainly for that first swing of the Waggle Pick.
Just Captain Greenskin coming out from Tom. Doesn't feel a need to throw out the Waggle Pick first, just fighting for board, what's important.
Yeah, I think spreading your weapon buffs is just very good when you know your opponent runs multiple weapon hate. Because, yeah, you know, this dagger did a job, it removed a minion, it's now going to get sniped by the Corsair, but then you just equip Waggle Pick, and then you're like, okay, well, what are you doing now? Looking for our team and keeping hold of that Eviscerate has lined up pretty well into this greenskin.
So Tom knows Alutemu's only running the Bloodseal Corsair for weapon removal. So he shouldn't be scared of this Waggle Pick coming down, but now with a Miscreant Draw, he might change that up. He doesn't have a way to... I guess he's got Lackey Hero Power to kill off the SI7 agent.
Yeah, it seems too bad to me. The Miscreant comes down first in case you get something else that changes your plan. For example, the plus attack and rush, you might just do that on the 1-1. Save yourself 3 damage.
I mean, these players are both relatively healthy, but 24 health can become 0 really quickly in Rogue Mirrors.
Oh yeah, it's that one turn where you won board last turn, and then they didn't get it back the turn after is when you just kill them. Necrim Value, Cannon Barrage, and Sinister Strike.
Not a whole lot of pirates, and Cannon Barrage is kind of expensive. I'm expecting to see Sinister Strike here, but perhaps he...
I think Cannon Barrage might not be too bad, mainly just because he has Corsair in hand. It could be 6 mana deal 3 twice, might just be good enough to kill some minions.
Could get better later if you pick up some of your other pirates as well.
Oh, especially when you think of Dread Corsairs, right? If you can make them cost 0, then suddenly that is a lot of damage for 1 card.
Step. Could step the Lackey, could save him for the Leroy. I think Alutemu might be getting to a point where he's going to have to say Waggle Pick face, go. We have Leroy, we have Step, we have Waggle Pick. Could push a lot of damage over a couple turns. If that fails, we have Myers to fall back on too.
Yeah. Reminds me very much of the Hunter mirror, where at some point someone decides they just have to go face and try and win, you know, try and race.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much more Alutemu can put on board, right?
Not really. And you don't really want to put Leroy into a minion. Really do the best job in the world. Is you can prep Myra's.
This allows him to play an Edwin if he draws it, whereas if you equip the Waggle Pick, he won't be able to play the Edwin, but he'd be able to play the Dread Corsairs. He still can't play the Dread Corsairs this way.
Yeah, he can even Waggle Pick and still get the Deadly Poison on and Dread Corsairs, which is pushing a lot of damage, and you still have an Eviscerate, a Leroy, and a Shadow Step, plus the Waggle Pick Shadow Step.
Expecting all of this to be going face. Perhaps he trades the Bloodkill Corsair, just to chip off 1 damage. Depends how the damage breakpoints work. 7 gets pushed for sure, he goes down to 17. 16 if the Corsair goes face as well. Does trade off the Corsair.
Okay, bounces a Corsair, pretty good for Tom.
Could Cannon Barrage, try to...
Could. Frustrating he can't get to those 1-1s though.
Yeah, he could go Waggle Pick, but doesn't develop that much else this turn, and being at 17 is kind of scary.
What do you think about triple trade and then just play 2 thugs.
That might be the play. That's the only way you develop something substantial, and I don't think... I mean, you don't have enough damage to just get there with Waggle Pick, right?
And then you have potentially Waggle Pick and 2 4/4s next turn. They choose to go for the pick. Clean up what he can. Funnily enough, valuing a 1-mana 1/1 deal 2 over the Discover spell. Lackey. Because he could bounce it next turn, and he chose to run in the Discover. Interesting choice. I would have thought the Discover might have been worth a bit more. Maybe with Fatigue it's not, but...
Alutemu probably wants to make sure he doesn't die to any direct damage. Might be going to Life Drinker this turn. Probably Dagger up. Maybe try to play a Dread Corsair. Might want to go Miscreant instead. A couple of options. I think he wants to weave in the Miscreant, so he's deciding whether or not he wants to play the Life Drinker or the Corsair. Life Drinker gives him the heal, Corsair gives him the taunt. Leroy Shadow Step for 8 mana will be 12 damage at some point. He knows Tom doesn't have Dread Corsair in hand because Tom likely would have played it this turn along with the Waggle Pick. So he's trying to figure out how to develop enough damage to make sure that the Leroy Shadow Step is enough to kill Tom.
Life Drinker just seems good to me. It's just safe, isn't it?
Yep.
Funnily enough, does he Life Drinker Shadow Step Life Drinker?
No, I can't see that. That'd put him down to 8, which means if somehow Tom clears the board, the
Leroy
Vis would be enough.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You heal for more, so you safer versus Fatigue, and then you still have Leroy Vis anyway, because you can't do it all next turn. He did go with a roundabout, a similar play of just getting extra damage out there by using the Abyss now. And the Life Drinker, but yeah, I think he could have Shadow Stepped healed for a bit more, but I guess healing for 3 and putting up a 3/3 taunt is extremely similar in most cases.
Interestingly, Tom draws one of the only cards that might let him get back into the game. Have we seen any Dread Corsairs come out from Tom this game? I don't believe we have.
I don't think so.
So if this raiding party picks up both Dread Corsairs, Tom can clean up the board. And he can play around to sap Leroy. Can't Leroy step if there's a taunt in the way. Leroy's going to die. So we'll see what Tom goes for. I think Tom's expecting some more damage to come out because the Life Drinker Viscerate seems kind of weird. If you had limited damage, you want to put more on the board and then try to step the damage as lethal. Right. Well, the damage coming earlier, it's quite possible Alutemu is just trying to dump damage so that he can do even more damage next turn. And Tom sees this, goes for the...
Oh, you know what's kind of funny, actually?
Yeah?
I actually wonder whether Alutemu actually might have made a misstep. Was it not better to Leroy Shadow Step the previous turn? Because Life Drinker Reverse doesn't care about taunts.
Perhaps. Maybe. It depends on Tom's hand, too. So Tom would have been on 8 mana as well.
But does it? Because if Tom doesn't have taunts, you win anyway. And if he does have taunts, you would win with Life Drinker Reverse.
It depends how much damage he thinks Tom can do in one turn. I don't think Tom could have done enough to...
Bear in mind, you fill the board with 1/1s.
So many options.
I guess he trades them off.
Oh, you're true.
You know,
Yeah, that's right.
There's only so many extra minions he can play. Oh, I'm just thinking, sometimes it's good to get the minion charge damage out the way while you can. And as long as you're not instantly dead, which maybe, like you said, maybe he was afraid of dying.
We got the spell Aki.
So it's to strike.
Oh my goodness.
Can he Shadow Step us in this to strike? No, is the answer. He's going again, he can get 2 damage,
I
right?
wonder if he wants to...
He can get deal 2. For lethal.
He could, yeah.
May as well. Oh, you got it.
Oh my goodness.
La lethal.
Alright, well Tom did find the one way that would keep him alive against what Alutemu happened to have in hand. But Alutemu finding a way to deal the last bits of damage.
And that was close, because if Alutemu could, one of them might change. Let's see. Tom, as we go into it now, opening hand. No new cards that I can see. Oh no, I'm going to sound stupid. Oh, well, I'm used to that. Alutemu as well. I don't think those look too different. You know, Myra's, Raiding Party, generally pretty good road cards are included in most lineups. So,
like the pickup Edwin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, you know when I said games might be over real quick, and I said Language Hacker might look silly because he thinks Tom's going to reverse sweep? Yeah. Coin, Prep, Raiding Party, Van Cleave is a pretty good play.
That's just an 80. It's fine.
So if Tom would have changed deck to run Walk the Plank, at least in a turn or two, he could have had an answer.
I mean, it's hard to make the read on an 8 Edwin.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to make these plays, so there's a turn 8. And also, what's worse is I remember a day when you did this and had no cards left. It was all in on Cleave. Alutemu just has cards, because Raiding Party is an insane card. Okay, he has a taunt. He's dead yet.
Could go Dagger Deadly or Dagger South to Deckhand to let the Edwin push face.
Okay, because of the hand, I think actually Dagger Deckhand might be fine because you probably want to pick next turn anyway, because the hand doesn't look very good.
Well, I don't know if you want to pick next turn. I
Don't
think
you?
pick's one of the only ways you can lose. If Tom hits his weapon removal and lets you bounce the Edwin back.
I guess I'm thinking that Tom might use his weapon removal if he has it this turn, right? Because you need to do something to stop the damage somehow.
Right. That's possible.
So Tom is going to go for the evil miscreant. He doesn't have weapon removal, so the point we'll have to cross that bridge when we come to it, or if there's enough time to cross the bridge. Alutemu might just fly over it instead and not need it. But another 8 to face.
Start off with the 8 face, because that's always going there. Alright, turn 4. Tom's on 14 health.
Wait, you just... Oh, no, okay. I was working out how, do you just ship everything to face and just play 2 deck hands, go face?
You could.
And then just go, well, I've got Leroy and a Waggle pick left. Deal with it. What is Tom actually going to do? Can he deal with 2 deck hands, the weapon, a Leroy that we know is there, as well as the 8-8 Van Cleef that he so clearly cannot deal with? We might already be on for a record-breaking quickest game in Grandmasters ever.
You got the stopwatch ready?
Yeah, it looks like quick is the time that my watch says, friend. And this...
Choose soon.
Debating whether or not he wants to use the backstep here to clean up the deckhand.
I think there's very little drawback of not doing it.
Agreed.
And this draw for the game.
Okay. Trade. Shadow step.
So what's he looking to draw?
I was thinking he wanted a Witchy Lackey, hit something good, then Witchy Lackey again, and get
Oh,
Zilliax.
he's got 2 goes.
Okay.
Try number 1. No.
Nope.
Oh, close but no cigar. It's
Wow.
taunt for minions, but not for the face. And in lightning quick speed, Alutemu, the thumbs up there from him as well. He goes up 2-0 over Tom, and that was just over.